Welcome to the Grit of the Matter, where we talk about what it takes to grow through life's unexpected challenges. I'm Denise, and this podcast is built on 5 pillars: grace, resilience, intentional, trust, and thrive. These conversations are for inspiration and education only and are not substitute for medical or professional advice. Please consult your qualified provider for your personal needs. If this resonates with you, be sure to like, follow, share, and make sure to turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get to the grit of the matter.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Grit of the Matter. I am so excited. Guys, I cannot tell y'all enough how much I love what I do. I get to meet and talk with some of the most interesting people, and today is no different. This is one of my dear friends, Hero, and she's like a traveler. She's just, she's living the dream. She is living the dream. And I get to talk to all these people that have all of these different resilient stories, and they make things happen for themselves. And like I said, she's no different. So I just want to welcome everybody in. Hello, Hero. How are you today?
Hi.
Welcome in.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited about this conversation. I've been counting down the days till you got to come here with me.
That's
So
awesome.
we actually get to talk on a background level because she and I are friends, and she gets to tell me all the good things that she does and all the exciting things that she does. But Hero, for anybody that doesn't know you that might be listening to this podcast today, tell us a little bit about you, about your story. I don't care what it is. You tell me what it is that you want to talk about today, and then we will bounce the conversation off of that.
Okay, awesome. So currently, right now, I am literally traveling the US. I started in California, that's where I was. California left a very sour taste in me, in my soul. The people were not what I'm used to. Coming from Nashville, Tennessee, where you are. Well, not Nashville, but Tennessee. um, so I felt myself slipping and losing myself, who I came to California as. And a huge part of me was my dogs. Within less than a year, 3 of my most precious dogs passed away, kind of back to back, but with some usually about 3 months in between. The last one was probably 6 months before the first one passed away. And I didn't realize it then, but I realized it after my last one passed away. And these are dogs that were my life. If anyone knows me, they were my life. I lived and breathed dogs. I could go on a rant all day long until you're blue in the face and I'll still be going. I love dogs. And so they were my babies. So losing them the way I did, majority of them didn't make sense. Actually, none of them made sense. Even up to the last one. The last one took the full grunt of me being in California. So the full 5.5 years that I was there. And that one, I think, was the camel that the thing that broke the camel's back for me, because I realized I was slowly already going into a depression since the first one. And then by the last one, it hit me in the face. I had gained weight. I wasn't myself. I wasn't enjoying life anymore. And I was living somewhere that was sucking the soul out of me. And I mean that in all aspects. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, I was not myself. And I hated myself. I genuinely hated myself, which is not a good thing to think because I'm a very happy person. I like to believe that I'm a very happy person. And so seeing what was happening to me and losing my most precious dog, the one that started it all, in a way that just should have never happened, set me on a soul searching, pull myself out of the hole. I hate that it took that for me to pull myself out. But now that I'm out of it, traveling with my last two dogs, the ones that I actually got while I was in California, um, has been so nourishing to my soul, and hitting back into my roots, finding me again. And it has been quite the journey. And the cops were not the funnest part. Having one of my dogs is a unique experience in itself, and he is a high content wolf dog. You know this, you've heard all about him. But being around him is a lot different than hearing about him. And the wonderful people of Portland and I mean, sorry, Oregon in general, and Washington, which I'm currently at and loving, by the way, are very pro about their wildlife. And I can appreciate that. But getting cops called on you at every stop because they think you plucked a wild animal from the wild has been quite the adventure.
Oh
But
my
it's been
goodness.
great. We've been hiking. I've been getting back into hiking. I've lost so much weight. I've gained muscle. And a lot of it started with your guidance. So I can't thank you enough for that. Try not to get emotional. But you helped me start slow, not rush it. And that was one of the best things you could have ever done for me. Everyone else was rushing me and wanting me to be better sooner, when I didn't even know what it was going to take for me to get better. Because I don't have kids. I don't know what that feels like, but I equate the pain that I left, that all of their deaths left me, to some degree of that. Um, and we have been spreading his ashes everywhere we go.
Oh,
The first three ashes are spread back where our home was in California. But Hulk, my specialist boy, has been on the road with us. And I have been spreading him everywhere we go. Even the small little hikes, everywhere we go. I'm definitely going to cry now. Oh,
that's
God.
okay. That's okay. Well, I'll throw this part in there while you're getting yourself back together.
Thank you.
Um, I mean, you have been with me through a lot of things, and I've been able to call you and talk to you about a lot of things. And just to hear you say that I helped you, it absolutely touches my heart. And I know what you mean when you were saying I've never had kids, but an animal can be just as much a child if that's your whole life
Yeah.
as a child can. So you treated them like your babies. They were your babies. So losing them can feel like losing a kid. I mean, I've had kids and I have animals, and we love our animals just like we do our
Hmm.
kids. They are our babies. And when you lose one, it's it just tears you apart. So to be able to help you through that, um, I didn't realize how much I helped you, but to hear it, um, it touches my heart to know that I was a part of helping you get through that
Yeah. You
time.
were more than I can express, to be honest. Like that, those workout, that pamphlet you gave me for it, like that all that work you put into it, I lived by it. Like I lived by it. And then surely but slowly I was able to move and grow past it. And but that was what started it. I knew I had to start slow, and you weren't rushing me. You weren't putting pressure on me to, you could do more, you could do yada yada, like everyone else was telling me. And I'm just like, look, I'm dealing with a lot, and my body's not working with me the way I've known that I know I could do that. So to have someone constantly telling you you could do more, you can do more, it was encouraging to a degree, but it also felt very discouraging
Yeah.
because it made me realize how far I fell, like so far back with. realizing I was in a depression without even knowing it until it hit me smack in the face and I dug myself out almost instantly, but not instantly. It's definitely been a process.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And I think it gets overwhelming too, right? Whenever somebody's just, you can do this, you can do this, you can do
mhm,
this. Yes, you can do this, but if you do it in your own time, I mean, and most people know when they're pushing their body, and whether they listen to it or not is the difference.
yeah,
And so whenever somebody, and you felt like you were doing everything you could, and if they were pushing you saying, oh, you can do more, you can do more, it gets overwhelming. So
yeah,
yeah.
yep.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. No, that's 100% it. I was getting frustrated with not being able to go at my own pace. I loved the encouragement, loved all of that, but at the same time, I didn't feel heard, and I needed to do it a certain way to where I could move on and do it the way everyone was telling me how to do it. And you were the only one, literally the only one that said, ignore them and just do what you can. You know your
Yeah.
body as as best as you know it. Like you know when you'll be ready for those. And it's honestly true. Like it's taken me what about 6 months now to get to where I am, and I fell off the wagon for a bit because of that overwhelming pressure and expectations almost of you can do more because I've seen you do more, and I'm like, okay, cool, but that's not me right now. I'm battling something I've never had that level of intensity for.
Mm.
I've had maybe depression in my past, but not to where I was literally a year and a half ago. A
Yeah.
year and a half ago, I was in a really bad place mentally, and I just really felt like giving up. No matter all my accomplishments or anything like that, it didn't matter to me. Like it just didn't, because I didn't have my babies anymore, and
Yeah.
I partially blamed myself because I should have stopped at some point, but then at the same time, I'm like, as ugly as it is and as heartbreaking as it's been, losing Hulk was probably the eye opener that I was always gonna need to get
Yeah.
myself out of California.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fighter. I'm not a quitter. I will keep pushing myself to get to the end, no matter the cost sometimes. And I feel like that time it cost me the my loves, literally my loves. And
Yeah.
that was a hard realization, to realize that no matter how strong I was, being strong like that and not giving up can also cost you everything. So it's healthy to know when to give up and why you're giving up, not just because, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I don't think it's a I don't look at it as a giving up rather than a realizing where you need to make that adjustment, you know.
Hmm.
I, and I mean, I totally understand you're saying give up, but I just don't look at it as a give up though, because you found where you were and you said, I'm not giving up. I'm not stopping life. I want to push better. I want to be better. I want to do better. So you didn't give up, right? You didn't give up. So um, it was just a hump in the road. And I know I don't mean that to say anything disrespectful to the
Yeah,
dog. Because,
no, not at all.
I,
I
I
don't take
love
it as
that.
that
I
at
love
all.
that you love your dogs. And um, so never look at it as you gave up on anything. And if that's the only thing anybody ever hears in this room today, is that whenever you have something like that, like your love for your dog and you lost your dog, it breaks your heart. And you have to figure out how to pick up those pieces. And it's not easy.
It
And
was
so,
not.
so in the sense of that, I mean, if you would have given up, you could have just laid there and been like, I've lost everything. I don't want to be anything.
Hmm.
Right. But you didn't. You said, okay, I have to make the best of this life. And I feel like for you, you're saying, I have to make the best of this life for Hulk.
Yeah,
I
a
see?
100%. I look at what he did for me in that moment, regardless of how much it's caused me pain. That he had to go in a sense, or he was ready to go. 'Cause
Yeah,
I feel like he knew that I could still be myself without him. And it really hurts not having him here because he would have loved all of this. But I see him in my two dogs right now. So, like, everything he taught them, they're reenacting all of it, but, like, their own version of him. But I
Yeah.
see him in them, and I don't know if I would have ever gone to this point if I didn't lose him. Like, it sounds horrible, but
No.
I feel like trying to take it as positive that he was telling me that it's okay that
Hmm.
I did fall off and that I don't necessarily need him anymore
Yeah.
and that I'm still okay without him.
Hmm.
Because he came into my life at a really dark place as well.
Hmm.
Probably one of my actually more darkest ones, and that I really didn't think I was going to come back from. Family, ex boyfriends, just young teenage life.
Yeah.
And he he gave me that spark back. And so, like, losing him the way I did while in a depression, losing the other ones, not saying that they
Hmm.
weren't insignificant, they were just as important.
Yeah.
But gosh, I don't know how to word this part correctly without anyone getting misunderstood. Just
Just say it however you feel it, girl. It's okay.
he was telling me it was okay,
Yeah.
that I fell off, and it's a pain that I have to go through to move forward, even without any animals at this point. To not like use him so much as a crutch to
Yeah.
get better, to be better, to move on, to not give up.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes a lot of us fight for someone or something and not for ourselves.
Yeah.
And I feel like losing Hulk taught me that I can still fight for myself,
Yeah.
regardless of the pain that I go through, and it'll always be better than just giving up.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I agree with Hulk.
Yeah.
And I've always there's this thing that me and Joey, Joey. So me
Yeah.
and Joey have always seen that when you lose a dog, it's almost like that dog brings something else into your life. And for you, you've got two others, so they prepare them for what's to come. Or when they're gone, it's almost like they send one to us that's going to help us through whatever we need. So I feel like in that sense, it's what a dog's, it's just like we give them everything. They love us unconditionally through anything. And they love us for that, right? They love us for as long as they're here. And then if we're sad, they bring something to replace them in a way. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm
It's a hard
saying?
word to
So,
put in there because we're not necessarily saying replace, but
yeah.
to
Mm-mm.
carry on is probably a more,
There
I
you
would,
go. That's a good word. Yeah.
yeah, I think he's just saying you can carry on without me.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
our chapter is over,
Yeah.
but you still have
Oh,
so
that's
much
a good
life. You have
way.
so much more to do, so much more to give. And
Yeah.
honestly, I've met such amazing people on this road trip that I thought were pretty much dead. Like, these type of people that are just naturally nice and genuine people were no
Mhm.
longer in this world, because of how California made me view certain things and the people there that were just. I'm not saying all of California, just where I was and the ones
Yeah.
that I did encounter. Not all were of genuine heart, and I've come from, and I like to be someone very genuine.
Hmm.
And starting to lose that there, and then losing Hulk, losing Timber, losing Gambit, losing Athena, all of them, to now know that there are still better out there. I just had to get myself out of there.
Yeah.
Anyone else can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's gonna suck like hell. And it's gonna hurt like heck. But anyone can do it.
Yeah.
and you were the start for me.
Well, let's go from you leaving Tennessee
Hmm.
to moving to California. So if there's someone on an adventure
Hmm.
and they feel like it's time for them to transition to a new place, and you had a lot of stumps in the road, like a lot from the time you left. What would you tell them? Because there's a lot of people out there, okay, they're doing online jobs now, they're doing this, they're doing that, and they think, okay, I don't want to live here, I want to be here. And they start getting all those stumps in the road. What would you say to somebody that's trying to go through that if they're trying to build a business, because you did that too, an entrepreneurship, whether it be online, physical, whatever? What would you tell them if they were having the same similar troubles?
Ask for help. Your pride will be your biggest downfall in business, in traveling, and anything like that. Be smart and ask for help, because I didn't get to where I am completely on my own. I have a trail behind me of every person I met, every tip they gave me, every assistance, every connection. Meet people. There are people out there that
Yeah,
will help you and genuinely want to see you succeed. There are plenty mentorships out there. Just know who's being genuine. Again, you have to be safe, because especially if your girlies are out there, you have to be safe. And if you get that gut feeling that there's something off, listen to it. Because I'm telling you right now, 9 out of 10 times that saved my butt. And a lot of different, not just from Nashville to California, but from California to now where I am and everything in between. My gut has been the leading light for me. So,
yeah,
but don't be
good.
scared to do it. It is
Good.
terrifying, and you're probably going to fail the first bit of it, the first chunk of it, if not the first year. Um,
Mhm.
but it does get better. But you have to learn to reach out. Don't fight it all on your own. Don't try to do everything on your own. Get your accounting, get a manager if you need it. Like, just find what you need depending on what field you're going in, what direction you want to go in, and get help. There's so much out there. Don't be shy about it.
Yeah. Well, that's a good answer. Good answer. Um,
I mean,
so
you did the
you
same thing. You reached out to me and I helped as much as I could.
and you will probably be one that I reach out to because you really do inspire me. I've seen you do so many things in your business ventures and the things that you put your mind to. And now that I have a clear head, this is my year. I definitely feel like I have started. We were talking like before we got started here about how you just have a hard time talking about yourself. I'm the same way. Same
Yeah.
such a hard time talking about myself. But I think when people would ask me questions of like, what do you want to do? Who do you want to help? What is your goal? The last 3 years, have been kind of difficult for me, but now I'm in that transition of like, okay, I know what I want to do now. And so just be ready. You'll be getting a lot of calls.
That's awesome. I love it. I'm always here for your calls. Friendship, business, whatever. I'm here for it. As
Very good.
long as I have
So
internet connection.
we need to get you invested in Starlink.
I have that now. I have that now. I just haven't activated it. I've been pretty good, decent about sticking to Starbucks and stuff like that for free. Why
Hey,
not? There's,
I'm
like I
going to
said,
tell
there's
you,
stuff out there. You can make it work.
that's right. I'm telling you right now that Starlink saved me last year for my 5K because,
Really?
oh my gosh, it was a game changer. Yeah, it would have been horrible trying to do it without, but
I'm glad.
so you mentioned, I know that you mentioned in here that you were a dog trainer, and that is just like I love it. I love the fact that you do so much with animals, which you pretty much had a whole farm in
Yeah. I think the
California.
farm had me at this point. I
Yeah,
have it.
but it started out as dog training, right? So you
Yep.
went from training to then to California. So Um, I'll just ask you suggestions on like if somebody because I know you've done this, somebody that might be looking into training for a service animal or a dog, just a dog in general, what would you suggest them for them to pay attention to when they're looking?
Um, so I'm a big advocate for the no two dogs are the same. I don't care if they're from the same litter, from the same parents, from it does not matter. There's only so much genetics that can be shared among a litter that no two dogs from the same mama, from the same time, same birthday, are going to be exactly the same. Find a trainer that will train the dog that's in front of them. That means they need to be able to pivot if the dog is showing more of one thing and less of that, and not just have this straight linear line for the dog training. Animals don't learn like that. There's going to be bumps on the road, and they need to be able to adapt with that dog and learn
Mhm.
how to help that dog get to the next step without completely destroying the dog. There are some trainers out there that will take some of the best bred dogs and ruin them because they're treating them like every other breed generic or sex generic, training generic. It doesn't matter. No dog is linear. Every dog is going to be like this, and you're going to
Mhm.
get walls, and they need to be able to break those walls. But the wall needs to be broken in the best way for the dog, not the way you want it. Because trying to tell a dog that they're a cat is not going to work.
Yeah.
So find someone that can really adapt with the dog and help the dog learn, not just demand the dog to learn.
So we're going to go back to your dogs now. You have two wolf dogs with you, right? Do you have two of them with you
No,
now?
it's one wolf dog and a
Yeah.
Dutch Shepherd.
Okay. So a lot of people may not know what a wolf dog is. Do you want to tell them what that is?
Yes, in the most simplest terms, it is a dog that was bred to look like one, but not necessarily be one, because they are incapable of being returned to the wild. Because just because it looks like one doesn't mean that that is one. Again, pivoting, being able to adapt.
Yeah. So is there specific breeds that they put together to make these? Or
Yes. The first F1 generations would be a captive wolf. So, like, think of the zoo or something, a female bred to a dog, usually a German Shepherd, Great Pyrenees, something to combat the genetic wild of the
Mhm.
female and make it more domestic with a well temperament dog.
Okay. Oh, okay. So what drew you to wolf dogs?
So, I've always been in love with wolves. I almost once upon a time was going to be a zoologist so that I could work with wolves, wild wolves,
Hmm.
until I realized I would have no life doing that and no income. And I was young. I didn't want that. I wanted, anyone wants a successful career and make money from it, right?
Yep.
Well, as I got older, I realized that's not a reality. I would have to get a job to get a job for my job, you know,
Yeah.
and I couldn't live like that. Obviously, that's not realistic. At least not for me at that time and age. So I pivoted and went into biology, yada yada. But shit, what was the question?
What drew you to the wolf dog?
Okay, sorry. Because of my obsession of wanting a wolf, it was a testament to my dog training. Wolf dogs, especially high content wolf dogs, are notorious for they can't do this or they can't do that, which is much of many breeds. People like to put limitations on breeds because this breed is more this or that or da 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 da. And I'm like, nature is only half the game. Nurture, which is the training part,
Hmm.
is the other half. You can do a lot with any breed as long as you know what to expect and know how to combat it, and then how to teach that animal the difference. That's it. And so he was a challenge for me. He was my test to myself that if I can train this animal, and I didn't pick one of the most easier ones, I picked a high content, I picked a very strong independent male, fully intact still, and have equate him to my husky at this point that's past Hulk. Um,
Yeah.
he is a walking improved version of Hulk. Everything that I always imagined Hulk would be if he was an actual real wolf, but he's not. He was a husky.
Mm-hmm.
And nor is Achilles. Achilles is still a wolf dog. He's very domesticated. He just has very wild look to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he is proven that if you do both 50-50 correctly, you can have a great animal.
So, you see that I like to bounce around, right? With my questions, I
I
build on
love
them.
it.
So, with your traveling, what has it done to shape just in the few months that you've been doing it? Because you've been traveling for what now? Half the year almost? 3 months
Almost.
at least?
Yeah,
So, what has it taught you about yourself, and how do you think it's helping shape who you want to become?
that's a really good question. It has definitely shown that I have all the tools in me. There are several bumps in the road. I am horrible at backing up smaller trailers. And for a good portion of this trip, I was trailing out a utility trailer. So things that you would see gardeners, landscapers use, and it's very finicky. I learned that if I really have to do it, I can do it. And I've avoided backing up with this trailer like it's the plague because I doubted myself.
Yeah.
100% doubted myself. But when I found myself actually in a precarious situation with me, my truck, and my trailer. I felt like I was just stuck, like I wasn't gonna go anywhere. I needed someone to come bail me out. But it took me an hour and I got out. I it took me a lot of finessing, a lot of trial, and a lot of getting out of my car, looking at the picture, getting back in, moving like a centimeter, and then coming back out and be like, okay, how can I fix this? Because I can already see it's going a different route than I wanted to. And
Yeah.
that alone, with the weather as well, weather has been quite the game changer. Traveling, doing this while it's winter season. A lot of the things were closed, and I had to pivot a lot. That if I really truly put my mind to it, I can do it. It doesn't matter if I know anything about it or not. There's resources. I have my phone. I can make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's
And it's
getting me,
crazy.
yeah,
It,
it's getting
it's
me back into, even before I met you, that if I put my mind to it, I can do it. I thought
yeah.
getting older, it would kind of slow that down a little bit, that I have to start saying I can't. No, it's still I can.
Hmm.
And that has been the biggest eye opener.
Yeah. That's good though. Like these things are teaching you that independence all over again.
Hmm.
You know?
And that it's
And
not to be ashamed of.
well, I think that especially as women,
Hmm.
we need that.
Hmm.
We need to feel that independence because um, if you're, well, take me in my situation. I mean, I've been married for almost 30 years. I've
Hmm.
had two kids. My life has revolved 100% around my family.
Yeah.
And then when the kids went off to college and out of the house, married and all their things, now it's like, I don't know who to take care of. So then you kind of like go back into your shell.
Yep.
You kind
Yep.
of lose that independence. And so I think it's good. I think every woman should try something. And it doesn't have to be traveling across the US, right? It
Yep.
could be making yourself get out and go grocery shopping alone,
Hmm.
making yourself go and have coffee by yourself.
Hmm.
Do something alone and start building that independence. Or choose to do a job by yourself and live your life online all the time. I don't know.
Yeah. There are so many options. Go do painting. Go. There's so many activities out in the world, and there's people that enjoy it,
Yep.
that you don't need to always have your significant other or your family part of it. You can have your own hobbies. You can go do these things, and you can also do them solo. You don't always need a group.
Mhm.
I've been eating alone. I've been grocerying alone. I've been I even did some hikes without my dogs because they were too pooped. So I was like, well, I'm not pooped. So you guys stay in the truck. I'm gonna go hike. And it's it's liberating. It's great to know that even I use my dogs a lot of as a safety net just because I don't want a lot of people bothering me. Single female traveling. Yeah, that's always kind of in the back of your head. You always have to have it, your head's on a swivel, but I
Yep.
enjoy those alone times where I'm not taking care of anyone other than just
Mhm.
myself. Like there
Yep.
are plenty of parts during this road trip where I extended a certain location simply because I didn't get to do it on my own. I was too busy, hiking with the boys, taking recording of the boys, enjoying it with them, that I
Mhm.
also wanted to enjoy it just by myself. I just wanted to just sit there while the boys were like, "Are we gonna keep hiking?" And I'm like, "I kind of just want to sit here right now." And they're like, "Come on, mom." And I was like, "Okay." So there's moments that even with the boys that it's like I just want to myself, just to myself, and I
Yeah.
still give myself that because I feel it's very important that yes, it's great to be with your significant other, with your family, with your kids, your extended family, whoever, your friends. You also need to be okay by yourself.
Yeah. And I think the way I look at it is I've had this conversation with my daughter before, and I try not to say any names out.
Yeah.
But with her, I remember she was getting ready to go to college. And I remember this summer vividly. We were heading to Florida for our girls' weekend
Mhm.
getaway that we do every summer, and she was getting ready to go off to college, and I literally I kid you not, we were in the car and she was like, "Mom, why don't you pick the radio station?" I literally cried the whole trip because I was like, I don't even know what that is anymore. I've done it
Yeah.
for all of you for so long that I don't even know those things.
Yeah.
And this in January I took a trip. I was gone for almost 2 weeks, and it was just me. I didn't have to ask anybody
Mhm.
where they wanted to go, what they wanted to do, or anything like that. And I feel like it made me feel, and I had so many people like, oh my gosh, I'm going to give you props. I would never go on a trip like that by myself. And I was like, you should, you
Mhm.
should. Because literally, I kid you not, I was on that trip, and that was when Verizon cell towers went down.
Oh
It's weird.
boy.
So
Oh boy.
I was driving, no GPS, no radio,
Yeah.
no help, and I couldn't call anybody.
Mhm.
I had to do it 100% on my own,
Mhm.
and I thought that I would freak out, but it was actually really empowering. It
It
made me
was. I
feel
bet.
like I said, "I can do this. I'm gonna do this." So I stopped at a store and I was like, "Do y'all have any paper maps?" And
I'm glad you found it because nowadays that's not even existing.
no, well, they didn't have any. So I just went back to the message that I was talking to my friend with, the one that I was going to visit. And she told me the route. So I found it in the text messages since I could go back through there. And I just followed. I just stayed on the highway that I was supposed to stay on. And I was like, I'm not going to stop until I need gas or if I need to stop or something like that. And I just did it. And I was like, and I mean, I had so many people being like, oh my gosh, why didn't you just stop? I'm like, no, why? Why would you do that? But I
Yeah.
think it made me say, like you said, I'm going to do this.
Yep.
I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this alone. I don't need anybody to help me do it. And so I think it's good for women, like I said, especially if they've been moms or they've been 100% in tune to many different options,
Yeah.
right? You with your dogs, they were your soul. They are your soul life. Like they're everything in part of you. And if you get that little bit of time that you can say, okay, I'm just going to venture away. I'm going to do this on my own. And I'm going to show you I can do it on my own, or I'm going to show me I can do it on my own. I
Yeah.
think every woman should do that. I
I
really do.
agree 100%.
I really
I
do.
am a big advocate that, like I said, I did say earlier that it's okay to ask for help. And I'm not bashing that because, like I said, I've asked for help plenty of times.
Mhm.
But I
Absolutely.
also, again, I don't use it as a crutch. I use it when I absolutely need to because I also
Mhm.
want to be able to depend on myself if something were to happen, I have all the tools at my disposal. I have all the knowledge. It's all there somewhere. You just got to tap into it. And as sad
Mhm.
as sometimes it is, it you can only tap into it when shit hits the fan.
Right.
And
That's
you're
right.
left with that is the only option. And
That's right.
you'd be very surprised and proud of yourself with how much you actually can do.
Mhm.
Hmm.
If you give yourself the chance to do it.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing that a lot of people don't do is they don't give themselves the chance. Um, and of course, we all depend on the digital age now for a
Hmm.
lot of things, right? So
Yeah.
when you have that opportunity and you can kind of close off, like if you go into some of these places that have no service or no any of that thing, it's good to do. I mean, it's
Yeah.
good, yes, to know that you in the background. Oh, I could probably go up the road 20 miles and I can get to where I need to go, or I can get
Yeah.
into the internet or whatever. But being able to do it, it's just freeing. It's just so
Hmm.
free. Just
It
makes you feel
is.
calm. I
It
just,
is.
I felt like he woman that day.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm like, dude, I could do this. What do I need a man for? But then I'm like, yeah, I'm still humbled. I still
I know, right?
I'm not so much that I'm against, asking for help and enjoying the pampering here and there, but
That's right.
I also love that I know I can do it.
Hmm.
That makes
Yeah.
me far more happier that I can do it, but I'm choosing to let someone else help me do it if
Mhm.
that were the scenario or whatever. But
And I have a friend that she has made this comment before about accepting help.
hmm,
You're giving them the pleasure of helping you because if they
yes.
truly want to help you, you're actually making them feel good too.
Yep.
So for sure, we're not downing accepting help from somebody or anything like that. We are just saying that if you are debating on whether you want to try to gain your independence or if you want to stay where you are, think those things through. Think
Yep.
you can do it. Anybody can do what they put their mind to. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more of a daredevil of if it makes me nervous, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, 100%. And I've gotten back into that. I used to be that way. I mean, I used to be, whatever, let's go, let's do.
Wing
Um,
it.
and yeah, and I am definitely getting back into that because I did not used to. I, I would do anything, Of course, I wouldn't run across a bridge and jump in the water like my son would do. But I'm just, I am definitely one of those that I would jump in the car and I would go do what I need to do and not worry about any of that. But um, as I've aged, it's gotten a little harder, right? And
Yep.
so I'm back into that. I'm like, let's do this. Let's go. You can do it. If it's going to give you butterflies, it's going to help create you somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, 100% feel that way. If it's going to give you butterflies. And that's what my friend has told me too. She has made that comment that when someone offers that help, let them do it
Yep.
because you might be doing something good for them too. So don't put
I
that out.
agree.
So here's a question for you. Said that you got into the fitness and, started working out, started feeling better. Did anything from whether it be your dog training or watching how you have to train your dogs, did any of that go into building your discipline for your own
Yeah.
adventures?
Yeah. Because it goes back to like how when I first reached out to you, like I wasn't happy with the thing that really hit me even like before Hulk was I've always had leg strength. I've always had leg strength. That's I think it's just a girl thing, a women thing. Um,
Yeah.
but I couldn't even pull this small little cart from the gate to the house door. And I was like, wow, I can barely move like 5 feet ahead of me with this. And I'm like, I carried 75-pound dogs on my back. And what I didn't have back strength, I didn't have arm strength. What carried me was my legs. And
Hmm.
I was like, now if something were to happen, I had to get my dogs out, I can't get them out. I'm so restricted now that I could not look at myself in the mirror. I did not like it. And it wasn't because oh, I see fat or anything. It was because I lost my strength. I lost the most important thing to me other than my dogs was the I can do it part.
Mhm.
And after that, I reached out to you, got our workout schedule for myself, and started doing the things around the house. It was slow. There were days where I was just so sore, I could barely walk. And then I looked at it, I was like, I'm pushing myself too hard. I'm doing what I literally told you not to do when you're looking for a trainer. Is I didn't pivot even for
Mhm.
myself until I looked at one day Hulk was just doing his thing running around, and I was like, wait a minute. Why am I killing myself trying to follow this thing such to the book when I don't have to, because I have to work those muscle groups a lot smaller, like way smaller pictures, smaller durations, smaller weights, like for the longest I didn't use any weight because I my body was the weight because I had that's where I was.
Yeah.
And it took me looking at my dogs running around, and I think I was currently still training a puppy at that point. And I was
Mhm.
already treating him the way I always treat every dog I train. But I somehow disconnected that with me because of all the pressure and everything around me,
Mhm.
that I lost that. And then I just told myself, forget that. I'm doing it exactly the way I do dogs. I'm gonna
Mhm.
go at the pace that my body's setting for me, despite me wanting to push it, despite other people wanting me to push it, and just do it. Do what I can for the day, do it again later. That was it.
Yeah. I
And that's what
remember
I do
that
with dog
call.
training.
I remember the call that you gave that day, or you actually texted me first, and you was like, "Hey, can you help me?" And when we were talking, that was one thing that stood out to me that you would ask. You would like, "Well, how much weight do I need to add to this? What do I need to do here?"
Hmm.
And and that's one reason that I do that is when I tell someone to listen to their body, is you're the only one that knows that.
Yeah.
Now, you know where your stopping points are. And if you want to push a little bit over that, yeah, that's okay. But
Hmm.
if your body says, I'm not okay with that right now, but you want to focus on what your body needs to do, right? So you said you carried the dogs around and things like that. You knew that you needed to be able to pick the dog up if you needed to, right? You
Hmm.
needed to be able to help the dogs and do certain things like pick up big, heavy bags of dog food and stuff like that. So being able to do that is one of the things that I like to make sure people do is they think about what do you literally need to do. It's not all about the physique. It's not all about the looks. It's not all
Hmm.
about the, muscle and all that. It's about what do you need and where do you need your body to go. I think I do so much better with people that realize those things
Hmm.
because when someone is doing it for more of the physique type thing, they don't look at those things. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I just look good in a bathing suit," and that's my big thing. It's like a lot of people, are, "Oh, well, I want to look good in a bikini." Well, you can look good in a bikini and not be strong enough to do what you need to do.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. I've met some of those people. I'm like, why am I able to do laps around you and I don't even look nowhere near as buff and muscular as you?
yeah, yeah,
Like, mm,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't
It
know.
makes a big difference. It
It
makes a
does.
big difference in following your body and making your body strong. And I think that's very important for everybody. And there's so many people that don't look at it. They look at it in a physique way, and it's like, what does your body truly need?
Yeah.
I mean, your body needs to be strong first off.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know. I could go on a soapbox on that.
Oh,
The whole
100%.
world,
We both could.
you
And the
know
biggest
that.
thing, too, for me is my wrists are just notoriously weak. They've been weak my entire life. I don't know if it's carpal tunnel. I avoid getting a diagnosis, so I don't use it as a crutch. But like I know there's far more limits here than there are anywhere else in my body. But this also is where I can leg press 400 pounds, but I can only dumbbell 30.
Yeah.
I'm like, my wrists are a joke. I'm not going to push them because if I push them, I lose everything else. I'm not here to have this crazy body or anything like that. I want just the strength that lets me get through my day with my animals, with whatever life throws at me, that if I need to tap into it, I got it. and that's all I want.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I started this weight journey at 185. I'm at 150 and I feel lighter at 150 than I ever did when I was at 135, 125.
Yeah.
Because at that, even at 125, 135, my legs carried me to an extent. Now my legs could carry me far more than they've ever have, and I could now carry my bigger dogs.
Yeah.
Not just if my legs were to give out or if my legs were injured at one point. I only had one good leg and I have two good arms. Like I can do it. I didn't want to restrict myself just to my legs this time around. I actually built my upper body just to be able to carry the things that are important to me. Anything more, I don't care for. None of the physique really. The physique's actually kind of nerve wracking to me because I don't want to look like that. Actually, I still want to be soft but strong, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I look at it the total opposite way than most people do. That I don't want to look all crazy buff and tiny and whatever because I want to just be strong. I want to be strong to have a healthy life, to be with my dogs, to go places even when my dogs are gone. I want to be able to carry myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel you there.
Hmm. Yeah, I know you do.
I feel you there. So if somebody was going through, we'll go with the fitness journey. If somebody's going through a fitness journey and they're struggling and they're looking for someone, or they're trying to do it on their own for that matter, what would you tell them? What was some of the first things that you went through that you thought when you first got started that might help somebody now?
Do you mean like the things that helped me get to where I am, or the things that kind of stopped me that I didn't like were like more nerve wracking for me?
Yeah, some of your hurdles. Like if there was somebody that were going through some hurdles, say, we'll just use exercise, and that they're trying to build some muscle,
Hmm.
but they're struggling and they're getting discouraged.
Okay,
Okay.
my biggest thing, and it's still my biggest thing actually, is this notion that I have to drink X amount of water per day. I have to eat X amount of freaking protein, macro, micro, whatever nutrients. I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not hit my protein intakes. Not a single freaking bit. Yes, I do hit my calorie deficit just because, I mean, I love eating. I'm a foodie. I love food. But my choice that I go to, like it's just I don't think about it. My body reaches for it. Is fruits and veggies. I'm lucky in that sense that my body naturally craves those things. That most people have to think about adding. I have to think about adding protein.
Hmm.
I think my belly just growled. I don't know if you heard that, but I hope you did.
I did.
Okay, thank God. I'm just sorry. um, don't get so worked up about hitting X amount of reps, done this many sets per this. You have to do this dumbbell workout. You have to do that one. Um, there's a lot of lies out there, especially on social media, and a lot of those people's bodies are not what they actually are. Um,
Yeah.
there's a big one that's going around, the hip dips nonsense. That is so unhealthy. It's not even funny. And
I don't guess I've seen that one.
oh my god, like where these girls are like, if you want to fill in those hip dips, that's your anatomy, honey. Like you can't fix that. Your body is going to shape the way your body is designed to be shaped. You can't look like someone else's body. Yours is never going to look like theirs, and theirs is never going to look like yours. You are built different. You are fueled differently. Yes, you need protein. Yes, you need water, but you don't need the 10 gallons per day. I don't drink 10 gallons per day. That's
Yeah.
crazy talk. It's not
Right.
realistic at all unless all you do
Right.
is the gym and that is your entire life and it's your entire career.
Yeah.
Sure, kudos to you people. More power to you. But the average person like me, I was getting starting to get obsessed just like I was about like how much weight do I do on this one or da 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 that I focus too much on the nuances instead of just move. Just start moving.
Yep. Yeah. Well, you know me, I'm a big advocate as a lot of things will change. Number one, they change at the table depending on
Hmm.
what you eat.
Yep.
And you're getting what you need. If you're getting your fruits and your vegetables, you're getting some of those proteins that you're probably
Hmm.
not even thinking about.
Yep.
You're getting some of that water or that hydration that your body
Hmm.
needs anyway.
Yep.
And and that was why whenever we talked about that, I was like, okay, just try to get half your body weight in water because you're naturally going to do that because your body's not going to feel good if you're not getting what you need, right?
Exactly.
And and so that was a good way to explain it. I like the way you just said all that. That was a
Thank
good
you.
way to say
I mean, it was frustrating for me. It's still frustrating to me because I still struggle with getting the right protein in. But I look at it like this: if my body's not hungry, I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna shove food down it because it's telling me I
it.
don't need the fuel. I don't need it because whatever I'm doing right now, I don't need it. Yes, I had
Yeah.
it earlier when I really needed it. I gave it what it wanted. I have my pre workouts because I need a little boost. I have my shake for moments where I don't want to really eat anything, but
Mhm.
I'm hungry, but not super hungry. Something light. Don't have any veggies. Don't have any fruits. Going for the shake. Simple as that. Um,
Yeah.
don't stick to a diet. Like, I think the diet stuff is crazy because the reality is you can't sustain it. There's no diet in the world that you're going to be able to sustain except the one that makes sense for your fueling your body. I
Mhm.
I still eat carbs. I still eat sugars, but I eat natural sugars. I don't have really any of that artificial stuff. I've never liked the artificial stuff to begin with, and there's a lot of it out there. But there are healthier options. A lot of Asian cuisines, pastries are super light. French cuisine is very light. So if
Yeah.
you want sweet but light, there's options out there and there's places you can go for. So like, don't restrict yourself. There's so many options out there. Don't look at it so cookie cutter. um because your body's going to adapt. It's going to want one thing over the other. If you get obsessed with one freaking meal a day, great, cool. I don't meal prep. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't do any of that stuff. I used to weight everything because I definitely needed to do that. I definitely needed to learn portions correctly. And I'm a visual learner, so I needed that. So I did that for a while until it became muscle memory for me.
Mhm.
And now I eat whatever I want and I do whatever I want now. And going I'm getting stronger every day. But I'm not
Yeah.
hitting my proteins max. I know I'm not. And another big thing people don't understand is your body can only absorb so much protein, so much nutrients in one meal before anything excessive of that is going to waste. And I think
Mhm.
that's another big misconception a lot of people don't understand is that drink that says it has 50 grams of protein, you're not going to get the 50 grams of protein. You're going to get maybe 25 and the rest is going in the trash. You're going to go into the toilet. It's gone. Your body can only absorb so much in one sitting. So don't stress about the macro micros. Just hit a calorie deficit and just keep moving. Just keep moving.
Yeah.
And deficit
Yeah.
doesn't have to be crazy. You can start
Yeah.
small like I did. I started with a 50, then I did 100, then I did 200. Like, I started slowly adapting as I was feeling more and more stronger and feeling lighter and everything. So,
Yeah.
and your stomach definitely adapts to that.
Yeah. And a lot of people, you know me, I cannot stand the word diet. I just think
Yeah.
that it gives the impression that you have to restrict. I wish that there was a much healthier or better word to say in place of diet because I mean I do agree. I feel like you know me. I have a lot of opinions on that, but I feel like if you make your plate and you have your colors in it, all the colorful things, and you have your proteins, and a lot of people don't do carbs, and you need that for energy. You need that for sustainable energy anyway, as long as it's good ones, not like
Mhm.
artificial things and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I just think people get a bad rep when it comes to diet, the word diet. And I just wish that's one thing that if I could say, I wish that people would recognize is that don't let that word make you feel restricted.
Mhm.
Where it does, it makes people feel restricted. You have to find something sustainable for you.
Mhm.
have to find something that is encouraging for you.
Hmm.
And if it discourages you, run like the wind.
Yep. Because you're not going to sustain it. I like I said, I don't meal prep. I don't eat yogurt every morning. I don't eat eggs every morning. I eat whatever my body is craving and needing at that time, and I adapt it to what's available. I
Yeah.
don't freak out if I don't have it, or oh no, I'm missing something. I've learned to not stress about the little things. I'm gonna
Mhm.
eat. When I eat is when I eat.
Yeah.
um how much water I drink is gonna be how active I am that day. um it You need to make it a lifestyle, not a diet, not a fad, not a short-term goal that you just want to hit your bikini body before X amount of days or X months, anything like that. You need to make it a lifestyle. A lifestyle will make it stick
Yeah.
for life because it's a lifestyle. But if you do a diet, you're going to get what you want in that short period of time. Your body's going to adapt for that short period of time, and then it's going to go back to its normal once you've given up on it. It's
Yeah.
not sustainable. I hate diets. I hate the concept of it because you're not going to tell me what I can and can't eat.
Mhm. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Um, I mean, we've had a big conversation.
I know you got
We've had
so
a
much
lot.
stuff.
I know. We've got so much going on. So, I have a couple more questions, and these are basic questions that I ask anybody.
Okay,
I use the word grit, and the reference that I use for grit is grace, resilience, intentional, trust, and thriving. What would you say that grit means to you personally?
I can do it. That
Oh,
everything you defined sums up you can do it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm pretty simple in that sense that you can do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're
You
gonna
can do
do it
it.
with grace because you know yourself. You're gonna do it with grace. You're doing it intentionally because you have an intent for it. Um it's gonna get gritty, it's gonna get ugly, it's gonna get messy, it's gonna not be pretty. And you're still gonna come through it. So you can do it.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to do the Nike thing where it says just do it. I'm saying you can do it.
no,
Because
you can do it.
yeah, you can just do it, but I never liked that because
Yeah,
it felt more like a command, just do it, or like brushing it off, being inconsiderate of the fact. Just like when I was struggling with, I couldn't do those weights at that point, and someone's saying just do it, kind of condescending almost to a point that I'm like,
yeah,
no, I can do it, but my I can do it is body weight right now. I can barely lift my leg. I can barely hold
mhm,
myself up. You think I can do 3 more pounds in my hand that are like lopsided? No, I cannot. So you can do it.
yeah. I like that. Last question. If there was anyone that's listening to this conversation today that might need any kind of encouragement, number one, whether it's to stay consistent, whether they're trying to build a journey of their own, maybe they're a mom, maybe they're a divorcee, maybe whatever, is there anything that you could tell them right now that might can encourage them in any way?
You can do it. You can do it. And I know that's so cheesy and it's so simple, but you know yourself, you can do it. How that looks, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know your situation. Whatever the situation is, you have the resources, you have the gun ho for it. You are your biggest advocate, and you need to stay your biggest advocate no matter all the noise that's going to be around you, loved ones, friends. They have good intentions, but only you know what you need to do to get out of whatever it is. And it's going to probably be ugly. You're going to probably cut some people off. You're going to whatever. It's going to hurt like crazy. But once you're past it, there's no looking back after that. Like you can do it.
Good. Hey, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Um, I know that you don't have a lot of social media, but if you have anything that, like, if anybody's listening to this today and they're like, man, I want to watch her journey, do you put your journey anywhere? Maybe Facebook or YouTube or anything like that that you want
Yes.
people to follow? You can go ahead and tell me all that.
Yes. I only have Facebook anymore. I used to do all that stuff, and I felt disconnected from it. At this point, the Facebook is strictly a, if I feel like posting it, I post it, because none of this is to make money. This trip is nothing about making money, nothing about being an influencer or anything. And yes, I know there's plenty of people out there that would love to see our journey and stuff, but our journey is still only beginning. There's not even an end in sight right now. I don't know when it's over. um, it may never be over at this point. And I want people to use our social media not as a Bible. I want them to use it as a guide. That's why I don't post often. I post when it feels the need to post, or whatever. But it is Achilles Haji. It's my wolf dog's page. It's, we make appearances here and there. I'll make an appearance. My other dog will make an appearance. But it's more for an advocacy for his breed more than it is about our journey. Because this journey has been eye opening to the profound ignorance of his breed and what his breed represents, and just any animal at this point. Um,
Mhm.
People's downright obsession that because he's out in public, you can harass him and do certain things and expect certain things from him and from people. Like, it's been a humbling experience of meeting a variety of people. And that's what our
Mhm.
social media is about. It talks about everything and anything, and sometimes nothing. So if you want to follow along, you're free to follow along. But I also appreciate if you don't follow along. It doesn't hurt us. It does not hurt us.
Whatever you choose, wherever the wind takes you.
Yeah, we're just going with the flow.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's great. So, Hero, thank you so much for
You
coming in today and chatting and sharing your story. I always love our conversations, and I
same.
appreciate you coming in, talking to me. But before we wrap up, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
A shout out to everyone that we've met along this trip. Every little small good deed, every ugly encounter, and everything in between. You all have taught us so much about ourselves. And of course, all of our little friends.
All right. Well, there you go. She just gave you her little tidbit there. Thanks, guys, again for hanging out with us today. And remember that this is your journey, but you never have to do it alone. I will see you guys next time. See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for being here today. If this episode encouraged you, please share it, leave a review, and turn on those notifications so we can continue to grow together. Remember, strength isn't about being untouched. It's about choosing who you become in the process. And wherever you are in your journey, you are not in this alone. This is the grit of the matter. So, keep moving forward.